Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. On next week's episode of Coronation Street, Stephen, the serial killer, gets creepily near to his next victim. Sarah tries to repair her marriage after betraying Adam, while Amy turns the tables on Aaron during their confrontation about the lawsuit. When Owen approaches Stephen, he tells him that he and Jenny have been discussing Stephen's recent interference in their relationship and drawing parallels. He wants to know why Stephen would intentionally deceive them. Owen, unconvinced by Stephen's answer, threatens to terminate him once he assumes control of the factory. Stephen tries to persuade the underworld leader not to give up after all, fearing the inevitable consequences when Owen buys Carla's portion in the factory. Carla says she has to do it for the sake of her mental health, and Stephen feels awful about causing Carla to worry about it in the first place. When Stephen can take it no longer, he destroys the factory floor in an act of rage. Michael sees this and is perplexed by Stephen's behavior. Stephen offers to Elaine, once more, that they remortgage their Red Bank property and invest into the firm in the hopes of making a competing offer for Carla's part of the factory. Elaine makes it abundantly plain that she has zero interest in risking her money on Underworld. Because Stephen can't control Elaine as easily as he'd want, he's fuming. After putting Elaine's affairs in order, Stephen now plans to collect on the life insurance policy he purchased for her. Her health starts to deteriorate as he switches her blood pressure medication for coffee pills. When Carla says she'll sell the factory to Owen if Stephen doesn't come up with the money quickly, Stephen knows he has to act fast. In retaliation, Stephen poisons Elaine's drink. Later, Elaine gets dizzy at home, leading to a tumble that leaves her with a concussion. When Stephen discovers his fiancée unresponsive, he leaves the apartment without calling for aid. When will Elaine pass away? Tim expresses his suspicions about Stephen's actions to Steve. Tim confronts Stephen about what happened to Elaine, which is a direct approach to the problem. Sarah tells Audrey about the end of her marriage to Adam and how she feels guilty about letting it go because of her affair with Damon. Audrey says there's still a chance for the two of them if Sarah just opens up to Adam about how she really feels. Sarah begs Adam to give their relationship another try, but when he turns her down, she claims that he shared responsibility for the affair because he was constantly busy with business and paid little attention to her. Ken gives Adam some marriage guidance of his own, telling him that, like he never did with Deirdre, he shouldn't give up on his marriage so quickly. When Adam finally agrees to meet Sarah for lunch, it's a huge step forward for the Barlows. Things go downhill again when Sarah has to back out due to work obligations. Adam tells Sarah he doesn't think she worked for a living. He claims she secretly had lunch with someone else. Aggie, Sally, and Dee Dee go to a charity auction held by Yvette, a former neighbor of theirs. Aggie places a £3,000 offer on a summer house in an effort to win over an old acquaintance. Aggie is taken aback when Yvette announces the item is sold. Despite her expectation that she will be outbid by another guest, Amy is still concerned about how her family will manage the costs of the impending lawsuit against Aaron. She offers to use the money she received from Deirdre as an inheritance in order to finance the case, but Steve discourages her. Amy worries that Steve and Tracy would force Paul, Billy, and Summer to leave their house if they sell the apartment above the flower store. Mary's position is under jeopardy because Tracy wants to sell the store itself. Knowing how difficult things are for Amy, Summer confronts Aaron for making things worse by refusing to accept responsibility for his actions. Amy tells Maria how she feels about spending so much money on the legal matter. She finally decides to write the retraction that Aaron's lawyers had wanted in order to strike a settlement with him. Amy gives Aaron a copy of her withdrawal, but he says it doesn't make sense and rejects it. Amy observes that illogical claims are hard to wrap one's head around. Aaron is caught off guard when Amy says he should write the retraction and she'll just sign it. But as Aaron recalls the events of the night he raped Amy, he finds it difficult to pen the retraction. Max contacts his friend Gav from the secure training center to let him know he has located his love Beck. Gav keeps trying to get Max to do his bidding by having him apologize to Beck and persuade her to begin answering his calls again. Later in the week, David and Shona ask Max if Beck is his new girlfriend after hearing about his frequent meetings with her. As a result of his late night of card Playing with his Italian cousin Isabella, Brian is running late for his shift at the cabin. His lack of dedication has not gone over well with Rita. Once again, Isabella reveals her evil side by confronting Rita behind closed doors, telling her that she is too old to work and that Brian at the newsagents wants a younger assistant. As a result of her anger, Rita decided to leave her work. Brian tells Mary that he is relieved that Isabella is going back to Italy because he can finally get away from her smoking. Mary is delighted and proposes they celebrate with a drink somewhere soon. After the argument with Rita, Brian is worried about Jenny's reaction at the Rovers. Carla is concerned about Ryan's gloomy disposition, so she suggests that he get dressed and join her for lunch. Carla tells Daniel that Ryan hasn't left his apartment in a week because he's too distraught about the crystal catfishing issue. Daisy, feeling guilty, is encouraged by Daniel to go see Ryan and cheer him up. Leanne is embarrassed to see Damon and Sarah bickering in front of the bistro's patrons. Leanne decides Damon has caused enough trouble and tells Nick he must leave. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe our channel Street Gossip for more update news.